The content in this magazine could contain references of topics and difficult subject matter that may be triggering. Please honor yourself, inner knowing, and proceed with whatever help or guidance you feel is intuitively aligned. Welcome to Sovereign Magazine Podcast. I'm Nicole George, CEO and founder of Sovereign. I'm so happy you are here. We are the magazine podcast and community guiding 5 million women to their sovereign selves. From heart-led conversations to magical meditations, our inspiring guests will show you how they can help you step into your sovereign self. Are you ready to listen to your inner voice and step into your power? Then keep listening to hear all of the intuitive messages meant for you today. Hello. Today I have the privilege of reconnecting with Chris Melville, Sovereign Magazine's in-house coach, alongside her transformative coaching sessions and workshops for the Sovereign Magazine community. She runs a thriving coaching practice and is a certified rapid transformational therapy practitioner. With over 30 years of corporate experience, she is passionate about empowering women to overcome mindset challenges and build thriving businesses. A true expert in personal empowerment, Chris helps others step boldly into their power. Hi, Chris. Welcome back today.
So lovely to be back with you and all the wonderfulness of Sovereign.
Yeah.
We're watching each other, but nobody else is.
Yes. Well, today we are talking about our May full moon issue, which is transformation. And in your article, I'm Not Who I Was When I Started, you talk about something really interesting, which is you reveal that often unspoken truth about transformation, that it isn't a top-down exchange, but it is a co-created relationship that changes both the client and the business owner. And you also talk about fixing. So I'd love to hear more about your thoughts on this topic.
I love the way you phrase that. You phrased it better than I did. Experience always changes us, doesn't it? It helps us grow. And I think for coaches, quite often it's kind of the same journey that I think teachers go on. You know, you become better at what you do, not just from a skill perspective, but you start to understand people better. When you start, I'll take from the coaching frame, when you start coaching people, you might only have a few ways to do it. And you're going to come up against clients that actually the way that you're trying to coach them, it's not working for them. And you have to find a better way to do it, a different way to do it so that you can reach them instead of just sticking to that toolkit that you've got. It's not then just about, oh, I've got another tool I can put in my kit. It's like, oh, okay, I've seen some cues there. And when I see those cues, I know that I can switch to something faster. I can be more observant instead of getting to the point where you're kind of like banging your head against the wall going, nothing I'm saying to them is getting through. I don't know how to do this. So it's those soft skills, you know, in HR, in the corporate world, they talk about soft skills. So yeah, it is those soft skills. And the soft skills come from your personality, from your values, from what drives you to want to help people, right? So it's just that growth arc. It makes you a better person because you pay more attention to your clients.
I love this so much because I often have heard people say that coaches are coaching people who are just a few steps behind their journey, right? And I love that our clients can be our mirrors for us and reflecting back perhaps where we might be holding back, where our strengths are, and showing us just how much we have mastered as well. And so in the process of transformation, not only are you allowing yourself to change, but your clients as well. And I'm wondering when you realized that you were shifting with your clients, because I know at the beginning of my journey, I definitely didn't realize the impact I was having. And so when did you start realizing that you were transforming along with yours?
I'll tell you when it really hit home. And I had a bit of a mindset shift to make around it because there was a bit of an ego flare up with it. I finished my first group cohort last year and I'd worked with them for a full year. And one of the clients that I had in that, he'd been in my world for a while. And I actually knew him from my corporate days. So we'd known each other for a long time. And on the last session, he brought up the fact that he'd seen me become a better coach, which is lovely because that's what I want. At the same time, that little voice in my head is going, are you trying to say I was a rubbish coach at the beginning? So we get it back from our clients. Sometimes in work, just straight, short, abrupt like that. But we get it in the results that we see. We get faster results. We get better results. We get easier results. It becomes easier for us. It becomes easier for the client. You can go to a deeper level. It just means you're doing what humans were born to do. We're born to grow. We're born to evolve. We're born to learn.
Yeah. I think if it had been framed differently, like, Chris, when I started, like, you were tremendous, but you really shattered the ceilings by the end. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the presentation of it. And I think that's where transformation can be such a broad topic. You know, I used the word earlier, fixing. I don't like that word. I like invitation because I don't believe that we, quote unquote, need fixing. We're having an invitation to go within and look at our shadows, look at our inner child, integrate. I don't necessarily think that we're not broken. We just have things that we need to work on, integrate, shift, change. Those things are always within us, but they may take on a different meaning. And so what I think ends up happening is there are people who are out there still performing instead of embracing, yet growing or embracing their authentic self. And so how do we explain to these people who are performing still, who perhaps want to grow, but don't know how else to be, or don't know how to be their authentic self, or don't know how to speak up and speak their truth, or anything like that? How do we help them start to shift and do this co-creating with you? How do you help your clients get the nerve to begin the process?
I'm a bit of a coward when it comes to that. I take the easy way out. I'm still at a point now where I can pick and choose my clients. And one thing I'm very adamant about is I do not work with clients who are in victim mindset. So we need to be clear that we're working with somebody who's capable of making change. And if you're in victim mindset, you are not open to being able to make change because you're so focused on everything that's going, with the unfairness of everything that's going wrong, that you can't see that there are steps that you can take to fix it. So don't work with somebody like that. And it's not just a case of that feeds my ego, makes my life easier. I think it would be dishonorable of me to work with somebody like that, to take their money from them when I know that emotionally and like a neuroscience perspective, they're just not capable of making the changes. So I can't promise them changes when I know they're not going to make. Why would I want to take their money? And in those cases, I will tell them, I'll be quite honest with them, and I'll just say, I feel like you're not quite ready to do this work. Maybe go away and spend a little bit of time like working on teaching our brain to look for some of the positive in your life. Let's do those gratitudes. If you're out walking the dog or something, just take a few minutes, find 3 beautiful things on your dog walk. Just start remapping those neural pathways so that you can start looking at some of the positive instead of just always focusing on the unfairness. Because that's the victim mindset. It's not that you're looking at the negative, you're looking at the unfairness. Everything is happening to you. You need to be able to shift into a perspective of like, the next step up actually is everything is happening because of me, which is not a great place to be either. We want to go above that. So like everything is happening through me. The energy is flowing through the universe. If you're co-creating with me, they've got to lift it. They've got to get out of that way. We'll talk to them about some ways they can do that. Sometimes they come back 6 months later and sometimes they don't. And that's fine.
It is time to rise. We are being called to stand behind independent voices, movements, and media that refuse to be owned. Sovereign Magazine has never spoken to an advertiser, a corporation, or a billionaire. We are a grassroots movement made for and funded by you. If you are ready to rise, to shatter ceilings, and to stand in your truth, do it with us. It's free. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share. Every click helps us reach more people around the globe, ready to remember who they are. Are you coming with us? I love this. Okay, I'm going to move us into Steps to Your Sovereign Self because I want to continue this conversation about not convincing, if you will. I like that term. And so my question for you is, how does one who is reluctant to claim what they want to show up as in their work or in their life, how is that actually shaping them or prohibiting them from doing that transformation work? Like that person that you sent off to go and find some gratitude in their day on their daily walk, there isn't an amount of convincing. And so how do you help them learn to claim that for themselves? Or can you?
If they're not in victim mindset, you can. Because when they start to move out and they start to move into like, everything happens because of me, then they can start looking at how they can control things. And you can start by just taking simple control of behaviors. Because behaviors are easier to spot and to modify. Yeah. It's like, when I'm upset, I binge on sugar and then I feel ill for the next 3 hours. It's like, okay, we don't keep it in the house, improve the environment, make it easier, take the temptation away. Let's start to learn how to do that instead of just going, okay, well, why do you think you're going and binging on sugar? What in your mindset is making it feel better? What's the root of that? Where it has like that connection to sugar equaling joy, even though it's going to make you feel rubbish for the next 3 hours come from. That's a hard leap to make. So it's baby steps. So let's look at finding some things where we can start to make some changes in behavior. And that gives you the confidence to say, actually, I can change. I can change the way I feel about myself. I can change the way I see myself. I can change the actions that I take. And when you start to get that confidence, then you can start to build on that and you'll get to the point where you can take that step back and start looking deeper within and start looking into the mindset and the beliefs. Because the beliefs can be they can be hard to take on. And you need that little bit of confidence to take it. You need that kind of, I've changed some of the behavior and I've seen how it makes things better. So while this might be hard to do and it might be a bit painful to do, I know on the other side, I'm going to feel even better.
Yes. Okay. If you're ready for transformation, you can connect with Chris in our community.sovereign-magazine.com. All her details are in the show notes, and she will be back for our new moon episode. So thank you so much for being here today, Chris.
Thanks. See you next time.
Thanks for listening. This is the last episode for this issue. I'll be back again on the new moon with another soul-led entrepreneur here to help you step into your sovereign self. Subscribe to our magazine and podcast and join our global community for all the magic. Details to connect with today's guest or join the movement are in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a review. It helps us reach our goal of guiding 5 million women to self-sovereignty.